Hi guys, this is Amit Jain. This is the part 3 video of AmiBroker tutorial video series. And before I start, as you all would have know that my face-to-face video with eLearn Market is released on last Friday. And I got so many messages and feedback under video comments also. And in all, I can say that I got a tremendous response from the viewers. So I really want to thank to all the viewers who like my video, and I'll keep sharing more content in future. And this is for the first time viewers of this channel. For those who directly came to this part 3 video of this series, I suggest them to go to my previous 2 videos first. As if you are completely new to AmiBroker, then directly watching this video may be a bit confusing for you, right? And one more thing, your appreciation towards me in terms of like, subscribe, and share is the only key to motivate me to make more videos like this, right? So I'm doing my job and you do yours. So now coming to today's topic. Up till now in previous 2 videos, we have covered many topics like installation of AmiBroker, historical data feed, and we have seen some of the inbuilt indicators, and we have seen some of the functions which are extensively used in AmiBroker coding. And in fact, we coded a simple moving or average crossover strategy also, right? So today we will see how to create explorations in AmiBroker. And for those who don't know what exploration is a kind of scanner wherein you can filter some of the stocks based on the certain conditions. We will understand this more in details with the help of few examples. Okay, let's create a very simple exploration first, where let's say I want to filter those stocks where RSI is greater than 60. Okay, just let's go to the new chart. Open formula editor. Let me define a variable RSI value equals to RSI 14 range. And what I want to filter, FILTER, filter equals to RSI value should be greater than 60, simple. So RSI value should be greater than 60 semicolon. This RSI value is this. I'm filtering only those stocks where RSI value is greater than 60. Now I want to add these values in my exploration columns by using add column function. And which values I want to plot? RSI value, comma, double quotes, any name of the column, RSI value, comma, 1.2. 1.2 means up to what decimal digits you want to see your values. So here in this case, 1.2 means we want to see our values in up to 2 decimal places. So round bracket, semicolon. Let me just save this code. Go to files, save as, go to formulas, and in test folder, any folder you can make, and I give a name to this code is practiced. Practice, let's say this time practice 2. Save, verify the syntax, it is okay. Click on apply, go to charts, just close it. Okay. In order to run this scan, you have to create a basket of stocks on which you want to run this scan, right? So to create a basket of stocks, you have to create a watch list first. So go to the symbols here, and in under watch list, right click anywhere, go to new watch list, and create a new watch list by giving any name. Let's say I give a new name, new watch list, new my watch list, my watch list, and click on OK. And if I scroll down, my watch list is here. So if right click here and click on type symbols, and you have to add your symbols, which has to be comma separated. Like if I want to add Reliance dash I, comma, let's say next is SBI dash I, comma, let's say one more IndusInd Bank, dash I, comma, and so on, right? So in my case, I have already created my own watch list, which is GDFL stocks, in which I have added about 100 stocks. So to run this exploration, let me close a new analysis window by clicking on this plus button. Right, click here and go click on new analysis. So this analysis window will open. By clicking this on pick a file button, click on that particular code file, which is saved in under test file with the name practice2. This is here. I click on open. Now this file is selected. Okay. In range from two dates, select the date on which you want to run this scan. In my case, I selected 5th of November 2020 to 5th of November 2020. That means I want to run this code on 5th November. Okay, just click on this button, which is settings. Select the periodicity, means whatever time frame you want to run this scan. So let me just select as daily. Click on OK. And now here, apply to filter. If you select the current, it will run this scan only this stock, which is selected here. And to run this scan on a basket of stocks, so you will have to select it as a filter. Now click on this green button, and here under watch list, you will have to select your watch list. So I've already selected the watch list, which is in which I have about 109 stocks. Click on OK. And I think all the settings are perfect. Let me just click on explore. Okay, now on 5th of November, it is showing only those stocks where RSI is greater than 60, because we have defined it as a filter condition, right? So now I add one more condition here. Let's say I want those stocks whose where MFI is more than 70, in addition to the previous condition. Right, so I defined a new variable. Let's say MFI value, lowercase, equals to MFI 14 period, and let me add in filter condition also along with the previous RSI condition. RSI value should be greater than 60, and MFI value should be greater than 70. And let me add these values in my add columns. Add columns, MFI value, comma, MFI value, comma, 1.2. Click on verify syntax. Okay, click on apply. Go to the exploration and click on exploration button again. Okay, now it is showing only those stocks where both these two conditions are matched. First is RSI should be greater than 60, it is matched here. And second is MFI should be greater than 70, which is matched here, right? So Okay, in addition to above conditions, I add one more condition, that current close should be greater than previous day high. So now in total, we will have three conditions. First is RSI should be greater than 60, MFI should be greater than 70, and current day closing price should be greater than previous day high. So go to the code again. I define a new variable called previous high equals to, now here I want to get the previous day high value. So I will use a function called time frame get price. Get price, comma, double quotes high, comma, in daily, comma, -1. What I'm doing here is I defined a variable where I want to get the previous day high value. I'm using this function for that. I defined capital H in double quotes, comma, in daily time frame, and I'm shifting the bar by 1. So here I'm getting the previous day high values. And in filter condition, I will add this condition along with the previous conditions by using AND. C means current close should be greater than previous high. So in total, we have three conditions. First is RSI value should be greater than 60, MFI value should be greater than 70, and close is greater than previous high. So let me add these values in add column. Add column. Let's say close, which is current close. So current close, comma, 1.2. And previous close, previous high, sorry. Comma 1.2. Click on verify syntax. It is okay. Click on apply. Go to exploration and click on explore. Okay, now this time it is showing only those stocks where all the three conditions are matched, which is RSI is greater than 60, MFI is greater than 70, and current closing price is higher than the previous day high. Now, as you can see that current day close is 1701 and previous day high is 1686. Right? Okay, let me show you one of my AFL code where I'm doing multi-time frame analysis. Before I show you the code, let me first tell you that what exactly I want to do in that code. See, before coding anything, you have to have an idea of what exactly you want to code. So let me explain the idea first so that you can connect with me while I will explain you the code, right? So in that code or in that analysis, here I'm going to use three indicators. First is RSI, second is MFI, and third is ADX, where I will try to get the values of these three indicators on different time frames, like in 15-minute, 60-minute, 120-minute, and in daily time frame. And okay, let me explain you this part first. Okay. Let me just close this file. This is the code, right? Okay, as of now, ignore these lines. We will start from here. Okay, in order to extract the values of different time frame, irrespective of whatever time frame is selected on the chart, we have to use a function called time frame set. So we'll use a time frame function like TIMEFRARE, time frame set, comma, we will define an interval, let's say in 15-minute, round bracket, semicolon. Then we will restore the time again. Round brackets and semicolon. So what I'm doing here is I'm selecting a new time frame by using this function. I'm defining a new time frame here, and I'm restoring the time frame to its original time frame. And within these two lines, whatever values I will extract will be of this 15-minute time frame. Got it? So let me just move ahead. So what I'm doing here is I defined a new time frame, which is 15 minutes. I restored the time again to its original time frame. And I'm extracting RSI 14 period, MFI 14 period, ADX 14 period, and I'm storing these values in RSI 15 variable, MFI 15 variable, and ADX 15 variable. Right? And same way within hourly time frame, same way within 2 hourly time frame, and same way within daily time frame. Okay. There is one more thing we have to do. See, we are extracting values from higher time frame while staying on a lower time frame. Let's say we are on a 5-minute time frame and we are extracting values of 15-minute time frame. Then there will be 3 5-minute candles in 15-minute time frame, right? So we need to expand those higher time frame values in order to use them in lower time frame, right? So how do we do that? We are using the same variable RSI 15, which is this, and I'm expanding those values by using a function called timeframe expand. And what I'm doing here, expand this RSI 15 variable in 15-minute and plot this last value in my calculation. And same way with this MFI 15, ADX 15, and all the other indicators. Okay, up till now, we get the values of few indicators in different time frames. Now, I will show you how to use those values to make a view in stock. And before that, a small disclaimer that this is not a strategy, and I'm not at all suggesting you to trade on this. I'm using this logic just to explain you that how to create an exploration in AmiBroker, nothing else. Right? So coming to the point, see, usually we assume that RSI going above 60, we consider it as a sign of bullishness. Same way with other indicators with different values also. And now what we are going to do is we will try to make a scoring index based on the trigger of indicators from different time frames. Sounds confusing. Okay, let me explain. Let's say if 15-minute RSI goes above 60, then I will give it a score of 1. And if RSI of 60-minute goes above 60, I will again give it a score of 1. And if 120-minute RSI goes above 60, I will again give it a score of 1. And same way, I will define the trigger values of each indicators on different time frames, and every trigger will generate a score of 1. So now in this case, in 15 minutes, we have 3 trigger values, RSI 15, MFI 15, ADX 15, and 3 trigger values in hourly, 3 trigger values in 2 hourly, and 3 trigger values in daily. So in total, we have 12 triggers. Now we will create an exploration where I will add all the above scores and will scan only those stocks where a score is more than 8 or less than 8. Means only those stocks will filter out where minimum of 8 conditions are matched either side. Okay, so let's just ignore first line. I define a new variable called POS score, which is positive score. I give it a default value as +8. And in negative score variable, I defined a default value as -8. We will see how I'm going to use that. Okay, now here I defined a variable called RSI 15-minute positive level. And for that, I give a default value as 60, RSI negative level, default value with 40, MFI 15-minute positive level, default value with 70, MFI 15-minute negative level with default value as 30. Okay, now for ADX, ADX is not a directional indicator. In fact, it is a momentum indicator. So I'm defining a default trigger value for ADX as 25 for both the cases, right? So here I defined a variable ADX 15 minutes and give a default value as 25. And same way with 60-minute values, for 120-minute values, and for daily time frame values. And just scroll down. Okay, now I'm giving the score to each and every of the indicators. Like I define a new variable called POS RSI 15, which is nothing but the positive RSI 15. In which what I'm doing here is, if RSI 15, just try to connect with me, okay? What RSI 15, which is this, what value I'm getting here, should be greater than RSI 15-minute positive level, which is this. And which what this is, the default value is 60. So in positive RSI 15 variable, I'm looking at the RSI value should be greater than 60, then give it a score of 1. Otherwise, 0. Right? And for negative RSI, if RSI of 15-minute is lower than 15-minute negative level, which is default value as 40. If this condition is matched, then give it a score of -1, otherwise 0. Same way with MFI. If MFI is greater than 70, give it a score of 1, otherwise 0. Negative MFI, if MFI is less than MFI negative level, which is 30, then give it a score of -1, otherwise 0. And for ADX, ADX value should be greater than ADX 15-minute level, which is 25. But here we don't know the direction of a stock when ADX is above 25, right? So, but I want it to give me a score of either +1 or -1 according to the direction of stock, right? So to do so, what I'm doing here is I'm checking one more condition by using the same RSI conditions. Like if RSI of 15 minutes is greater than RSI 15-minute positive level, or MFI of 15-minute is greater than MFI positive level. Either of these two conditions, if one condition is matched along with this condition, then it will give a score of 1, otherwise 0. And same way for negative ADX, ADX should be greater than, this time we are checking for only greater than 25. Greater than 25, and this time I'm checking that RSI value is less than its negative level, or MFI value is less than its negative level. Either of these two conditions along with these conditions are matched, then it will generate a score of -1, otherwise 0. Right? And same way with 60 minutes, and same way with 120 minutes, and same way with daily time frame. And now here, I defined a new variable called score, And here I am adding all the above scores in this variable. And now for filtering purpose, I give a filter condition that to filter only those stocks where score, this is this, this, where score is greater than positive score. And what positive score is? This is this, which is by default, I have given 8. So here I'm filtering only those stocks where score of these under these 12 indicators is more than 8 or where score is less than -8, right? And below here, I'm adding these indicator values in my exploration columns. So let me explain you one of the column here. So I'm using add column function. Here RSI 15, name of the column 1.2. That means I want to see the values of these indicators in up to 2 decimal places. And I'm using color default for this cell color. So I'm using color default for this cell which is white. And I'm using one more function here, one more condition basically, which is if RSI on 15-minute value is greater than RSI of 15-minute positive level. Means if RSI value is greater than 60, then fill that cell color in green. And if RSI of 15-minute value is greater than 40, then fill that cell color in red, otherwise null. And same way with other indicators. Right, so let me just verify the syntax, click on apply, go to charts, go to the analysis window, select the new file, which is, where it is, multi-time frame, open. Let me just change the time frame to 5 minutes. And my date is 5th of November. And under filter, I have already selected my watch list, GDFL stock, which has 109 stocks. Click on OK. And everything seems to be okay. Let me just click on explore button. It will take some time. Okay, now it is showing only those stocks where more than 8 or less than 8 conditions are matched. So now you can see that here 9 cells are filled in green color, which means out of 12 conditions, 9 conditions are matched here. So as you can see here is on 5th of November in ACC in the morning at 10:10, RSI 15 was 71, which is more than 60. So condition matched. MFI 15 was 58, which is less than 70. So condition not matched. So that is why it is in gray color. ADX 15 was 15, so not matched. RSI 60 was 66, it's matched. That is why it is in green. And same like with other indicators. So it is filtering out only those stocks where there are 9 green columns, or in technically you can say where there are minimum of the 9 conditions are matched. So as you can see that this is ACC, Amar Raja, and all these stocks are showing where minimum of +9, or maybe I can show you -9 condition. Here in UPL, you can see that at 9:15, 11 conditions are matched. Only this MFI 15 was not matching. Right? I can also change this scoring here. Let's say I want to filter only those stocks where minimum of 10 conditions are matched, more than 10. So more than 10 or less than 10. And if I click on OK, click on explore. Okay, so now it is showing only those stocks where minimum of 11 conditions are matched. As you can see that scoring is 11, minimum 11 scoring is there, right? So what this scan function or this coding is doing is it is filtering the stocks based on the scoring of indicators. You can also change the parameters of these indicators also. Like let's say I have given RSI trigger value as 60, you can give it 70, 50, or whatever you want to give for each and every of the indicators. So, and okay, I'm not going to explain you this line, this line, this line, and this line, right? What I'll do is I will upload this code in my Google Drive so that you can download this code and just try to understand that what I'm going to do here in these 3-4 lines, right? Just give it a try. See, I can only show you few examples. The rest you will have to practice at your own. The more you will practice, the more you will be familiar with AmiBroker coding. So this is the end of part 3 video. We will meet again in part 4 video of this series. And till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks for watching.